Hello gardeners! These photos are of some patches of wildflowers from last year when we had abundant winter and spring rains. This spring we've had less than average rain, so my wildflower patches are less dramatic, but still successful. I'm going to show you the individual flowers that have grown this spring, and I'm going to roll them out in the order of the color wheel, beginning with yellow and gold, then peach and orange, red and pink, lavender and purple, and so forth. Beginning with yellow, this is tidy tips. Here it is in the midst of some bird's eye gilia. Moving on to gold and orange, here is the California state flower, which is known around the world, the California poppy. It is very easy to grow, doing great in full sun, but it will also grow in part shade. Around here they start blooming as early as February, and they begin fading in May, unless you deadhead them to extend their bloom period. Now we're into peach or salmon. I do not know the name of this beautiful flower. If you do, please leave me your thoughts in the comments section. Now we're in the reds. This is elegant clarkia, and it comes in red as well as several other colors. I'm finding it to be the backbone of my most lush and beautiful wildflower displays. It grows extravagantly in full sun, but it also blooms in part shade. Here is some more elegant clarkia in shades of red, pink, and salmon. Here is a red elegant clarkia next to another species of clarkia known as farewell to spring. It gets its name from being one of the last flowers to fade at the end of spring. I have classified this as pink, but the color is tricky on this one. Frequently in the garden it looks pink, but in my photos it looks more lavender. So let's say it's right in the middle of pink and lavender. Maybe lilac? Here are some farewell to spring surrounded by Mexican bush sage, lantana, and elegant clarkia. I'm having more color trouble on this elegant clarkia. To me it's somewhere between burgundy and hot pink. After looking online, the best I could come up with was fuchsia, but the color varies from flower to flower and it changes in different light conditions. Give me your thoughts on color in the comments, but be kind. I've got double trouble here. I can't identify this flower and I'm having trouble with the color. After cheating by looking online, my best guess is orchid. Here's one of my favorites, blue-eyed grass. By May, much of my blue-eyed grass is faded, but here's a good specimen from back in February and another one from last year. Frequently, the blue-eyed grass starts around my yard in January. Bird's eye gilia is lavender and white. These little clusters of flowers are among the smallest in my wildflower patch. We're into the blues, and this is baby blue eyes. All of my baby blue eyes have faded by now, but this photo is from a field trip several months back. Here is another true blue. This is blue flax, and it also goes by several other common names. This is blue gilia. In my garden, it frequently seems to pop up near the poppies. Getting near the end, I have several white flowers that I can't identify. Here's one and another. Okay, those are the individual flowers in my wildflower patches this year. Now let's consider what they need in terms of light and soil conditions. All of them seem to do well in full sun, but some will also bloom in partial shade. As for soil, the most extravagant growth has been in standard Fullerton clayey loamy soil. Many have grown well but less exuberantly in nutrient-poor soils such as decomposed granite. This elegant clarkia has grown well, but it's leaning because it's under the sycamore tree. It gets very early morning sun from about 6:30 to 9:30, but for the rest of the day it's in light shade, so it's leaning toward the early morning sun. It would like more light. The seeds from these clarkias were tossed out among the carex meadow sedge in light shade. Perhaps they're not thriving like when they're in full sun, but they are blooming. Here are several different colors of elegant clarkia, plus the clarkia farewell to spring. They're squeezed in between the concrete curb and a large root of the sycamore. Perhaps it's not ideal, but again, they're blooming. It's the same story in even more challenging conditions, such as here in light shade at the edge of the path among gravel and decomposed granite. They don't seem to mind. Here, elegant clarkia and California poppies are growing in what is essentially gravel and sand. Ditto here, a farewell to spring in gravelly sand. Here, the two different varieties of clarkia, farewell to spring and elegant clarkia, are growing among river rock. This performance in these growing conditions is not really surprising. Here in Southern California, much of our wildflowers, especially in and around our deserts, grow well in a sand-gravel matrix. They're adapted to nutrient-poor soil, so they do just fine. In conclusion, try growing annual wildflowers next year. It's not hard and it's very satisfying. As far as the ideal time for planting, you can plant in the fall or wait until early next spring. Okay, that's all for now on wildflowers. Reporting from Fullerton, California, this is Rob Briggs wishing you every success in your springtime gardening. The concluding photos are some other views of my spectacular wildflower display from last year.